Hi everybody, it's been a while since I've done a video. As you can see, I've got a new setup here. This thing is a Husky adjustable. This thing goes up with an adjustable workbench that's from Home Depot. I actually got it secondhand from a local neighbor for much cheaper. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. Today I wanted to talk about just exhaust and to update my old video, which is, I might link it below or like link it above here, because some people have still been commenting on my exhaust video, and I just wanted to update that I have really no exhaust issues these days. And also because I've gotten just a few questions about exhaust and seen people kind of struggle with exhaust in general. So I just want to talk about everything exhaust. The table actually has to do with my exhaust setup, because putting the laser here instead of behind me actually reduces my line another 15 feet. As you know, I've had a 40-foot flexible pipe run, which was working pretty well for me. I mean, I would have no fumes and everything, but I just wanted to shorten it just for peace of mind in general. But I guess that's just a data point that a 40-foot run with about 7 90-degree bends in using flexible pipe, and by flexible pipe I mean this kind of stuff that comes with the laser, still works. But it's obviously not as efficient as some other options that, I'll go through right now. So basically, okay, I'm doing this video unscripted, so I might be backtracking on myself, but the exhaust basics, you want as much air being sucked into the machine, fresh air sucked into the machine, as you're exhausting bad air out the machine. Because if you don't have enough fresh air coming in and it's only the fan is sucking the air out, you're going to start creating a vacuum here of some sort, and then it's going to start filling with smoke and start coming out of these, the cracks out of the machine. I've done that before. You don't want to do that at all. So just make sure that you have a door open in the room that you are using to the next room, if that makes sense. So the next room's fresh air can come into the machine as you exit that out your window or whatever you're exiting out of. So in the previous video, if you scroll back to my previous videos, what I was doing wrong was that I was exiting my exhaust air through the same wall that I was intaking fresh air, if that makes sense. So I was exiting out that door, or actually out this door on my left, and then I was intaking fresh air through that door. So they were all part of the same wall. So I was getting pretty much the exhaust air coming back into the house. So that's why I was having exhaust issues in that previous video. And I think I was also creating a vacuum of some sorts. Actually don't remember what I was doing back then, but there was I thought there was smoke coming out of these cracks here, but actually maybe I wasn't doing having a vacuum. So yeah, but I thought the smoke was actually coming out of these cracks here, so that's why I sealed it all up in the previous video. You don't really need to do that. You can see I've ripped off all my tape now, and I don't have any of that stuff anymore. So the main problem was that I was intaking my fresh air along the same wall as I was exiting my exhaust air, if that makes sense. So you don't want to do that. So now I'm intaking fresh air from this side of the house and exhausting out the other side of the house. So that's a much better setup, because I know fresh air is coming in. So yeah, you just want to open a door to the room that you are using your laser cutter in, and exhausting ideally an opposite wall to where that door is, or to where that fresh air is coming in from. So that was step one. Just wanted to clarify that previous video I did. No exhaust issues right now. You can see that I've left in my my sealing here. It doesn't really matter in my opinion now. Again, I've removed the tape here. I was sealing here that you'll see in my previous videos. And I have not. Another option to intake more fresh air is removing this piece of metal blocking the grate here. I'm not sure what it looks like on the Ohmtech Polars, but I assume there's something in the front too. You just remove these two screws, this one right here, and then this one right here. I don't find it necessary, because when the gantry is cutting something really close to the front of the laser, when the air assist hits that area, that smoke might dissipate and actually come out the front too. So that's why I've left it closed, and I haven't taken this off. Some users have, and they've experienced better airflow. That's really up to you to test. I just left mine on. So let's talk about air quality meters. So I use 2 air quality meters just to test the air at times. So I put this next to my inline fan. I put this one in my workshop, like somewhere right here while I'm actually doing the work. Don't really need to do that. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. So just to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on within my workspace or near the fan. Yeah, so this one's a Tem Top. I forgot what the model number is. LK. There's no model number. But this one's basically the one that detects PM 2.5 and HCHO, which I think is formaldehyde. So PM 2.5, this number will go up. It will shoot up like crazy if you're cutting wood and it detects that wood smell. Same thing with this one. Let's turn these units both on. I'll have these products linked below. And they've been working out great. They kind of read different numbers at times. So that's why I have 2, just to verify that everything is fresh or not fresh. When it's not fresh, they're both going to read not fresh. When it's fresh, they're both going to read fresh. But the numbers are a little bit different. Actually, they're pretty much spot on right now. 0.3, 0.4, or 4, 3. Almost the same right now. Both of them are pretty cool. They have rechargeable batteries. This one's a micro USB charged. I think this one is too, right there. All rechargeable batteries. I don't know if there's a runtime to this. This one sometimes turns off by itself. I don't know if it's my unit or if it's just kind of times out after a while if you just leave it there without pressing any buttons. But yeah, you can switch through different different modes on this one. I haven't felt the need to switch to this one, but yeah, you can when you get to a unit, you want to calibrate it first with fresh air so that it knows what fresh air is, and then go from there. But yeah, I'll link these 2 below in case you are interested in getting one of these, just for peace of mind. I don't know if there's some invisible particulates or fumes that these 2 cannot detect, so I'm just going off by the PM 2.5 it can detect and the formaldehyde it can detect. Hopefully there's no invisible poisons out there that I'm just not smelling with my nose. Yeah, onto the exhaust setup. So exhaust setup basics. I'm no HVAC person, but these types of pipes are not ideal for I think 2 reasons. One, because it's corrugated or whatever, but I don't know what you call this, I guess. Not smooth on the inside basically. So on the inside it looks the same as the outside here, so air can basically get stuck or turbulence can be created. I don't know. Ideally you don't want to use these pipes for that one reason, and another reason is because these things, especially if you're like me, having to set this up every single time you use it, these types of pipes can develop micropores, which can leak exhaust air, and you don't want that to happen either. Ideally you want to use something like this, what you see with your water heaters or like your dryer. This is solid 6-inch pipe here that's smooth on the inside. My house can't take that, or my workshop can't take that, so I'm not using that. So let me explain my exhaust line here. So I have that reducer that comes with the machine mounted to this collar that's part of this machine, this metal collar. In order to get this on like this, you don't have to do it this way. You can use that 5-inch pipe they give you. But in order to do it this way, I had to heat up this plastic collar so that I can stretch it and fit it over this this pipe or this collar of the machine. Then I sealed it with duct tape. This is actually true duct tape. It's not this this gray stuff that you find commonly, but it's true HVAC. I don't know if this is made of aluminum. HVAC flexible tape that's used to seal HVAC in general. So like you can see on my heater here, this type of tape. And then there's also the aluminum type of tape, which you can also use to like actual metal. Anyways, use that flex tape to seal this area so that no fumes leak. I don't think any fumes will leak even if you don't seal it, but just as a precaution, and plus it keeps it on pretty tight, so this thing is not moving at all. Plus I put the metal collar on just for extra security. Have it going down here to my AC Infinity inline fan, 6-inch. I don't put this at the end of my line toward closer to the exit, which you're supposed to, because apparently these fans pull better than they actually push air. So you want all the pulling power to be, you want all the pushing power to, or the lack thereof pushing power to be closer to the exit, if that makes sense. But this setup actually works for me. So you can see that I've also sealed up the fans cracks and nooks and crannies just to reduce any possible leakage. The fan still does leak a little bit here somewhere, and I'm guessing it's where this hole is, where all the wires go in. At some point I'll probably seal that up with silicone caulking, because the tape just doesn't stay well there, since it's a cord. But yeah, you can see that I've clamped these down too. I've done a sniff test throughout the entire line, and the only area that's leaking is the fan somewhere. So my pipes are okay. And the leak is actually very, very little. The air quality monitors actually pick it up, and I can smell it just a little bit around this area, but the smell dissipates really fast. So I'm still thinking it's somewhere right here, where all the exhaust air is coming out of. But yeah, seal up your fans if you want absolutely no chances of leakage. I've seen other people, plastic bag this area too, and that works for them. I've actually plastic bagged my rear area where I've detected some sort of leakage. So I think it's somewhere here where it's actually, I'm guessing, according to another user's post, I'm guessing there's some back pressure created, because maybe the fan is not, the pushing of the fan is not strong enough to actually push the air out all at once. So there's some back pressure building up here, and it's causing the air to forcefully leak out somewhere. But this plastic bag actually reduced all that. So I actually don't smell anything anymore coming out of this area. But again, I do smell a little bit coming out of the fan. So, and it's always behind the fan, not in front of the fan. So I think what people say that the machine pulls better than it pushes is true. I think the pushing might be a little bit weak, and therefore it's creating some backup back here where it actually leaks somewhere here. It doesn't leak the rest of the line. It just kind of leaks right here. So that's something to keep in mind when you're thinking about your exhaust setup. But most people will have this placed closer to their exit anyways. And hopefully in the future, sometime I'll be able to do that too. But right now this setup works for me. You can see that I have a plastic collar in here that these two pipes are tied to, and I use this to bridge my door here so mice and everything can't readily get in. I guess they could jump over, but like, just gives me a little peace of mind to bridge my door. So yeah, I have to set this up every single time I use it. But anyways, so that's the extent of my exhaust setup. I hope I haven't missed anything. So in conclusion, you want as much fresh air going into your machine as they're exhausting, otherwise you'll be creating a vacuum. Don't really need to seal the machine any more than it does, any more than it already is stock coming out of the box. Flex pipe, you ideally don't want to use flex pipe, you want to use solid pipe. But flex pipe works for me. Oh, I should also say as a data point, before I move my desk here, before I move the machine here, I had a 40-foot run of flex pipe with around 7 90-degree bends, and this 6-inch Infinity fan was still pulling right. It was still pulling just fine, and I didn't smell any fumes, nor did the meters detect anything within my workspace or within the exhaust run. So just as a data point, even if you have a super long run with many bends, even if people say not to do it, for me, it still worked. I don't know if it'll work for you, but at least, for me, as a data point, it worked. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching another video. So I'll link these two products below if you're interested. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be coming out with more just everyday I don't think I'm gonna do too many tutorials in a sense, because I think there's so many light burn experts out there. I'm gonna just, talk about this machine in general. So, and just the operations of it, and maybe we'll do a few more videos related to that. So thanks for tuning in. Don't feel free to subscribe, like, share this video, and until next time. And feel free to post your comments down below, questions. I try to get to as fast as I can. No, I'm not paid by Gweikecloud. I'm not paid by OM Tech. I'm just your everyday nobody with one of these lasers and trying to use it to the max. Okay, until next time. Bye bye.